Hey everybody, Joel here with Grit Stain Knives. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Okay, so the other day when we left off, we had ground the handles and shaped them to the tang, and then we started doing the front bevel on the handles for the front butts. And then the last video we did the post heat treat grinds on the bevel. Today we're going to go through how I finish the front butts and then how I go about my epoxying process to glue the scales to the knife. So stay. Okay, so first things first, we're going to swap this belt out for 36, then we're going to rough up the back of these scales so we have a good flat textured surface for the epoxy to adhere to. Okay, with that part done, let's go ahead and head over to the buffing wheel. I went ahead and pre-hand sanded these to save time in the video. I went with a 220 grit all the way up to a 1500 grit. And now we'll hit them on the buffer and bring these up to a real nice shine. Okay, now that we have that front butt buffed out, you really see that grain of that canvas natural micarta. This is some of the local sourced vintage micarta from here in Tacoma. I love the dark outer and that canvas butterscotch core. Before we start the glue up, we're going to need a few things. We got our epoxy. We've got a good pair of nitrile gloves ready to go. We got a flat surface to mix on, along with the mixing stick. And then we left our handles flat, so we can use these chip clips to get a good squeeze and a good purchase on the handles for the epoxy to set up. So I'm applying a generous amount of epoxy onto the back of the scale on the first handle, and then I'll put the blade on there and then fill all those holes with epoxy to get a good purchase. From there, we use those chip clips to get the good pressure, like I said, to hold the scales in place while that glue dries up. So now that we have the handles affixed to the knife, we'll go ahead and clean up this blade before the epoxy sets up. We're going to want to clean up this front butt area where that blade and the scales meet. And for that, we're going to use some Q-tips and acetone, and that will be used very gently in this area here. Now that our epoxy's hardened, we can go ahead and we can cut the excess pins off of the handles. For that, we're going to use the portaband. Now that we've allowed the epoxy to dry and removed the excess pins, we'll go ahead and let this cure out overnight, and then we will clean up the spine and the handle area and get that excess epoxy off there, and then we can do the final shape on the handles. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.